Emotional damage.
Oh.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show.
To the shizzy.
Just want to say there's like 5 or 6 movies on why this is a bad idea.
Yes. There's like there's like
God.
big movies, little movies. Some were successful, some were not successful. Some had tornadoes involving them. That's awesome, right?
So we had a backup memory card, and that backup's gone. So I went to the Walgreens, and I was like, man, I'm going to get me something to make me feel good, you know?
Sweet treat.
Make me feel good.
Something. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, speaking of that, we saw that this is not good.
We did.
There's a whole set of movies about it.
Yeah.
There's a guy with a helicopter
And waterfalls.
to a special island.
And Jeeps. Really cool Jeeps. It's expensive to buy. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, dude.
Dude, it was crazy.
But
What hella rich? Like, imagine being that crazy rich though.
like
you know
on an
what?
island.
Just bring back stuff that's extinct.
It'd be really cool,
It's
dude.
probably someone watched that show, that movie, and they were like, "When I'm old enough and smart enough and have enough money, I'm doing it."
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
And they made colossal laboratories and biosciences.
Yeah.
That's what they made. But now we are talking about, what is it? Yesterday they announced they brought back dire wolves from extinction to de-extinction.
How did we? And how
That's
did
crazy
we?
to think, right?
They are unextinct. They called it.
Reverse engineered.
It's a term that they used
Yes.
for when Jesus was. They resurrected it.
Yeah.
Yes,
which
they
is
resurrected
kinda
it.
crazy.
Yes.
Brought back from the dead.
They really did. They so this team they focus on
We got 2 more.
breaking down DNA, rebuilding it, and putting it into something that matches its DNA genes. So they used
Yeah, they splice it just like they did in Jurassic Park.
really they did. It's
It's
awesome.
actually almost the same thing.
It
if
is.
you
It-
think
it
about
Same
works.
exact thing.
What's
Well,
crazy-
I would assume when they watched that movie,
It
like
works.
when they were making that movie, they like talked to real scientists and they were like,
Does this work?
"Hey, like, would this actually work?" And they're like, "Yeah, but it's not a good idea." And they're like, "But would it work?"
But would it work?
And they're like, "Yes, but we cannot stress
Enough
enough."
said.
Enough
It's not a
said.
good
said.
idea.
You know,
Got all the way off my back.
I want to be that guy with the Barbasol can that runs out
yes.
with the embryos.
He's like,
or
shh. Like,
We
he's like,
got
look,
dots
nobody
in here."
cares. Nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
that guy's
Nice
crazy.
Nice boy to the
Oh,
dinosaur.
to
Oh,
the,
yeah.
it's a velociraptor.
No,
yeah.
no. Like a little
No, that thing's
spitter.
that
was
the,
a spitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The-
that was awesome.
They have those down in the desert. I've seen them.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them.
Yeah,
They're like
you know,
that,
I had
they're
a
like that big.
buddy, man, when he was in Missoula, like during like the heavy times, and
Yeah.
when they were at their base, they would capture like what do they call those things? Like those big
Oh, you're talking about the scorpions, not the scorpion.
no, well, they would catch
spider,
scorpions and the spider
camel spider.
yeah, the camel spiders,
That's
and they
right.
would like bet money.
That was a
with them
big
fighting.
thing, man.
Yeah, dude.
Back when like YouTube was barely opening, that was like one of the things.
They would bet money. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like weren't they also talking about like woolly mammoths and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this company, Colossal Laboratories, they have a plan. They're raising money now, and they've already raised $200 million to de-extinct the woolly mammoth.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how hard it would be if they've done this.
Yeah. No. So
What
like,
would you
probably
use, an
pretty-
elephant as a surrogate?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah,
you want to
they-
explain that? Let's explain, like, in case we're all new here.
Oh, yeah, so-
what happened? How did they do this? Because it's not exactly like we
can't do it
saw.
ourselves.
No,
We could
Yeah.
try. It would not
like
work.
recreate it with DNA and grow it in a self-contained embryo. No, they
They
use
did
a
it.
surrogate
They did. They actually
Wolf.
did use an embryo. They used an embryo without
that they made.
Yes.
Oh,
Without them actually. No, not an embryo. They took an embryo from a gray wolf.
Okay.
Took out its basically what makes it
wolf.
grow,
Yeah.
and implemented the DNA that they created from the dire wolf.
God, I bet you Liam Neeson is just furious about this, dude.
He's so furious.
He's
right?
like, I can't do number 2. What is this going to be called instead of gray? It's going to be white. You know?
Was it Liam Neeson or was it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's-
I thought it was-
100%.
well,
Yeah.
which one was
At the end.
DiCaprio? That was the one with the bear.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
I
that
forget
was,
the name of that.
one of the best
Frontier.
movies. No.
He's just sitting there, and he's like Liam Neeson's like. Ugh.
At the very end.
I know.
No, I'm just like in his chair right now. He's like,
oh no.
How many wolves do I need to kill?
How many?
He has a certain set of skills, and one of them happens to be killing wolves.
Yeah,
Gray
always
wolves.
the alpha first though.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, he went right for the big boy.
Dude, that thing was scary looking.
Huge,
dark.
Dude, huge.
You know what else?
That was an awesome
what
movie.
other wolf scared me when I was a kid? Was the Prisoner of Azkaban, the werewolf?
Oh
no.
yeah, that did. That
He
weird
was
looking.
insane looking, dude.
It was. That was like the weirdest. That
He'd like
and
walk
the,
like a person sometimes, and then ran like
the
a regular,
Dementors, dude.
Ew.
Those things.
Dementor, dude.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Dude, those things. Suck.
I'm behind. I was really sheltered on what I got to watch.
The
as a
Revenant.
kid.
Revenant.
The Revenant.
Great
that's
movie.
right.
That is that's
Great
one of our
movie.
friend
Yeah.
is into that.
I
that
haven't
has
seen-
what's the guy?
DiCaprio.
Family. That guy's in it.
Oh, Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
He's in.
Is
that?
he not in that?
No, not Vin Diesel. Not Vin Diesel. He, the other guy's in it. Tom Hardy.
That's right, Tom Hardy.
I'm completely off track. It's all right.
Tom Hardy,
As
was
usual
Bane.
with the movies.
He's awesome.
Yeah,
But going back to this, extinct animals. So
I
they-
imagine their research facility like Ghost Recon Breakpoint, or
Oh, that game was awesome.
what's the one with the island and all the drones?
That's Breakpoint, right? No,
Okay.
no. Yeah, it's Breakpoint.
Yeah, I just imagine it
Yeah.
being like that expensive to like do this. you
Well,
know?
it probably is going to
Dude.
be now. Now that they are successful, I don't know how they kept it in wraps because I haven't.
No,
I mean,
that's
they
what's
grew
crazy.
these.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
are they? How many months old? Or are they years?
Right
no,
now,
they're months.
So there's
6
three
months?
total.
Yep.
One is called
males.
Remus.
Romulus, and
Remus,
Remus,
and
from the
Khaleesi.
Khaleesi. They're using a lot of
Game of Thrones stuff, which is cool. And
I thought it was Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, well-
Lord of the Rings.
no, Khaleesi
Roman.
is
Roman. Yeah.
that's Game of Thrones, and the other one is Roman. But the oldest is 6 months. The two boys.
So
Excuse me
what
as
is
I
their
look.
plan for like is inbreeding a thing with animals?
Yeah.
Well, technically, though, they're being born by separate beings, so they have to be born.
Yeah.
So they're taking the embryo,
Pregnating.
implanting it with its DNA.
Oh,
It's
okay.
created, and
So
then
it's
putting
like a
that.
test tube baby.
Yes, and putting that into an actual wolf.
We were talking
And
about
it's
this.
growing inside of a wolf, and
Yep.
they did a C-section to
Yep.
get it out.
So we talked about this
Pretty
yesterday. When we were driving, and it was essentially like, from my understanding of how biology works in mammals, the baby's blood never mixes directly with the mother's blood. So in other words, it never has its mother's blood directly. You would think it would because the
Yeah.
placenta and everything, but actually it just nourishes the things around it that give it nutrients, but it doesn't directly give it blood. Now it does do the DNA, obviously, in the embryo, but what I think they did is they used the embryo, which will have its own genetic code, but they didn't allow cell division to happen without them tweaking the genetic code of the embryo. I think they tried the best they could
Yeah.
to make sure that the sperm or whatever the reproductive portion that they inserted had as much genetic code that they used from there.
Yeah.
I don't think that they actually took it and put it in there necessarily, but they were able to use it and read it and adjust the
puzzle.
code.
Yes, it's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
they-
Z94,
they had to
whatever.
crush and break down
Just.
parts of dire wolves they found from the oldest is like 72,000 years ago up to 9,800 years ago.
Yeah.
So they took bones from all over, crushed them, looked at them, took all of these genetic codes, this DNA, and just fixed
There's a
together,
map.
just like just like Jurassic Park,
Yeah, dude.
just like Jurassic Park.
Jurassic
1.
Park meets Lord of the Rings would be crazy.
That would be crazy. Well,
You shall. And it's like actually
It's like
a T-Rex.
a real
Like,
Balrog.
does
Just
Does Jeff Goldblum know about this? Where he's like, like you were so caught up whether you could or you couldn't. You never.
well,
stopped
we're
to
gonna
think.
see it. He's gonna come
you
out.
should.
You should do this. I don't know.
That's such a iconic part.
It's like crazy though that we're like living this right now.
Yeah, that's what's crazy.
Like,
about
this
It
You
is.
know, this is real.
If they
And,
could,
yeah.
so it started with, I guess, this doesn't talk about it, but it started with probably that clone of that lamb they did a long time ago.
Yeah,
I was in
remember
high
that.
school, man. It was
Yeah.
huge, right?
Yeah.
And they did live for a long time, but still,
Yeah.
it started with that. Then they did, I think they did dogs. and they had to stop that at some
I thought
point.
they did a 2-headed cow or something.
They did
too.
a lot. They did,
Yeah, they back in the day, like German day, they did
a lot of
2 German
experiments.
shepherds,
Japan and
one head, or 2 heads, 1 body.
one head, 2. Oh my goodness.
This is getting weird.
No.
Cat no.
Cat no.
Yeah.
They
probably did
That was
too.
actually a good show.
That was a great show.
Yeah, show hit. Like,
But if you're asking, the audience, like, are they just gray wolves that's collared different?
I was
So-
just gonna say that like there's no way they could ever be like a purebred.
So,
Not
well,
yet, no.
That's the thing. So these wolves pretty much have an exact DNA as a real dire wolf.
Okay.
Yeah, what I
That's the
don't.
thing.
I read the percentage, or I thought I read the percentage.
It's like
I thought
99.
Yeah, I thought it was
5%
like
accurate.
97 or
Yeah.
something.
Wow.
Anyway, it's a high.
It's like
Now-
whatever zoo gets these things, like
Oh.
the woolly mammoth or like a
Dude.
saber-toothed tiger.
Oh my god.
You're not even gonna be able to
bro.
get
I
in
don't
there, dude.
want to bring that back.
I
I'm,
want
I'm
'em all.
scared.
Well,
dude.
I was
I wanna
saying to
ride
him
one.
like we were talking about it while you were at the store. I was like, dude,
Getting a
woolly
memory card.
mammoth, saber-toothed tiger, live-action Ice Age movie.
Dude.
we just need that
We
sloth.
already got squirrels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the sloth.
Yeah, shit the sauce.
Okay.
But these
Hey,
wolves
guys.
are
What's
only
the what's the
dude,
Marty?
who's
What's the
that?
guy? The big elephant's
Mar-
name or the mammoth?
Marty.
Isn't it Marty?
Yeah, Marty.
Is it Marty?
Yeah, it's
What's
Marty.
the,
Yeah.
Marty.
what was the tiger's name?
Marty.
Sid?
No,
Sid's
Sid is the
sloth.
sloth.
Sid's the
Sloth.
sloth.
I forgot.
I
man.
just said that. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Alright,
But
doesn't matter.
these wolves.
Solid
so
movie.
Fang? I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
these wolves, they are. What's the right word? They're thinking like. So they're 97, 99% accurate to what they are. But
You could probably get it down to 100% if
Yeah.
you bred them enough.
But they're already at 6 months old. Their muscle structure is larger. They're larger than normal gray
They
wolves.
look different, man.
Their jaws are thicker, from what I'm reading. They're just, like
Manny.
stronger.
Manny.
Yes, Manny.
You're right.
And Diego.
Yeah, Diego. That's it.
Okay.
Diego the tiger. Yeah,
That's right.
man.
Oh, so wrong.
They're already just
Wow.
having the DNA from a real dire wolf. Just they're already bigger, stronger. Their
They look
eyes
bigger.
different.
How old
Yeah.
are they? 6 months?
Only 6 months.
Yeah,
They
and
look like
they're
Dude, they're big.
and they're
already.
beautiful. They're
Yeah.
white. They have almost like that husky blue eye,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but they have their facial structure looks more narrow than what I remember. At least wolves looking like. I bet you its paws are nuts, dude. I'd love to
yes.
see how big.
Feet
It's,
are huge.
Yeah, I've
dude.
even seen. it. I
but
just saw a
usually,
puppy. Yeah.
wolves have really skinny legs, but their paws are huge
Yeah.
for walking on snow and stuff. And I wonder if their legs. To me, they had a lot more hair.
Yes.
It looked like they were huge.
They did say that they're learning how they act with humans,
Mm.
and they're skittish,
course.
extremely skittish of humans, and they're just trying to figure out now.
They're learning a hierarchy. I read that where
Yep.
they're like the Romulus and Remus are starting to play fight and just getting a little more aggressive to who's the dominant one.
Mm.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. It's wolves.
Yeah,
They are
even if
wolves.
they were dogs,
Yeah,
It's like
even-
that.
yeah.
There's this dude on TikTok that pops up every once in a while, and he like works with wolves. I don't know if it's at a zoo or wherever,
Mhm.
but he like gets in there with them, and like it's right in their
Yeah,
face.
yeah, I know exactly
Yeah.
what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
And he's like, oh, she's just mad, And I'm like,
Yeah, and he
Just mad.
the way he sits though, he like has his face kind of diagonally with them to
Yeah.
make sure that he's not
like
getting in their
staring him-
business.
Yeah, or
he's
staring
like
him in the
he's
eye.
like don't get this twisted. I respect them and understand their body language, but they're wild animals, man.
Yeah.
And
They
like
are,
any
yeah.
any moment they could just
Yeah, it's like people who like have like
100%.
pet grizzly bears, and they're like, oh, man, I can't believe that bear like pulled Dan apart by the arms. Like you really,
yeah, dude.
What do
have a
you
hard
think?
time
The
Does
with
one
it
in
that.
happen,
Doctor
right?
Dolittle was way cooler, bro.
yes.
Golly,
That's
dude.
a
Yes.
solid reference, dude. Yeah, that was a very chill.
He
grizzly
wanted
bear.
he was walking out on the broken tree. I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
To get the honey, I think is anyway. Yeah, so what I would wonder if we are probably at a point with technology and especially this AI stuff, if we actually really start using it as much as like Trump's saying we're going to use it and power grids for it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll get to a point where maybe they could resurrect these things. I don't like that word, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then what if so you do
don't have
mammals,
permission to play
done
God.
you don't. And
But
what
we will do it.
What if they did, not hermaphrodite, whatever the
Oh my God,
what's the
dude.
No, the
Anthony clip
eggs.
Eggs.
They're warm-blooded egg.
Yeah, it's scrambled.
What am I
dude.
thinking?
Yeah.
Scrambled.
Well, he's
cheesy
looking.
eggs.
You know, like, what do you think? So this is their first real success.
Uh-oh.
A
Yeah,
dire
I
wolf
was
is
wrong.
brought
Yeah, I
back.
think that now that they know they can do it, they're gonna go buck wild with this.
Like already
Like
in
dinosaurs, maybe.
Yes, maybe in the future.
legitimately-
5 years
Yeah,
from now,
dude.
like they've already got the woolly mammoth in the lineup. They've got the Tasmanian tiger,
Yeah.
the doo-doo bird,
Yeah.
which is crazy. It looks
Yeah.
a weird looking bird.
Yeah, they are.
Monotriums.
I mean, they've
My
actually
bad.
got like all these
Yeah.
extinct animals in the lineup, and it's just like,
Well, what's
Yeah.
cool,
What else
what's
can
good
we bring
about it
back,
though is like
you
there
know?
are movies that specifically show exactly where the weaknesses would be for these parks.
yes, it's awesome.
You know,
It's like,
so like I mean, they probably
it's
would
like
be pretty
just,
safe.
just pay the computer guy really well.
Yeah.
you know.
really well.
Like, really
like
well.
enough where he won't steal things.
Yes, yeah,
yeah, and shut off the security system like a maniac.
Yes, it's just
That
like let's shut
guy's-
off everything.
Wallowing in the mud.
He's
He's
say
just-
the magic word.
Falling in the
Samuel
mud.
Jackson for some reason is like just in this multi-million-dollar facility.
He gets to do what he wants, man.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Can you
just
imagine
Sandman.
like being like the owner of Jurassic Park and like Samuel Jackson's just got like a Marlboro Red and there's like millions of dollars of computers in there and he's just
It's like a sterile environment.
yeah.
I mean, what do you say? It's
It's
Samuel
crazy,
Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He played, gosh, what was his Mace Windu,
yeah, dude. So that was
and got his own. He got to get him to the director to choose the exact color lightsaber he wanted,
so
which is crazy.
Like, you guys like ever? I don't
Crazy.
want to get too sidetracked here, but like last night I didn't get like home like in bed until like 1:30, but again like YouTube Shorts and it was like how come Kylo Ren's lightsaber looks all crazy and broken? It's because like the kyber crystal stuff. You guys should look into that. It's pretty.
I will look
interesting.
into it. I like that stuff a lot.
Yeah, he was saying like like the kyber crystals, they put all their hatred to change the color. So like the Sith would use
His
that
light's red all the time.
to change that way, but he still had light in him.
Interesting.
So the crystal cracked because he didn't do it right. So that's why his saber's all crazy.
I would
That's
like
pretty
to
crazy.
watch that.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, man.
So it was like he didn't have it. Okay, I will run down that rabbit trail. So
It's
I'll
a
look it
long
up.
one.
it's a very long one.
It's
That's who like
crazy.
the top 5 like deadliest Siths. That's another one, dude. It'll take you hours to get through.
holy cow! I
I
know a
watched that
lot
a
about
lot.
that
Yeah.
the old Sith stuff, where those brothers like Romulus and Remus,
Yeah,
were
dude.
fighting each other.
it's
So
insane,
what
man.
do you think's next? I mean, what happens when back to kind of what I was trying to say without the right word, the eggs, an egg laying, we'll just say the dinosaur, right? A actual
Chicken.
dinosaur, a chicken, an ostrich. I mean, really,
Yeah, that's
You're
what
not
it is.
far
say
off.
that-
You're not
that,
far off.
Like
Yeah.
alligators and crocodiles are technically
dinosaurs.
Descendants,
dinosaurs. Yeah.
Yeah, megalodons, and you have great whites. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some. So you just need a surrogate at this point. So what would the saber tooth? They use a tiger,
Yeah,
or a
honestly,
lion,
Yeah, it's like for the woolly mammoth.
or do a liger? Make that
Yeah.
again.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, it would be
I
crazy.
don't know if they
That
have
would be
those
crazy.
anymore.
You
Tasmanian. No,
well-
what was that one animal that's extinct? It was looked like a Tasmanian devil, but it
They're
had
bringing that back.
stripes.
that is yeah.
What's it called?
It's called the thylacine.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
not. That's
It
what
was
it's
a hard
called.
one, but
it
yeah,
is the
I always
Tasmanian
saw it,
tiger.
and it looked
Yeah.
like this
Yeah,
really mangy weasel with
that-
no hair.
that
with
is the Tasmanian tiger.
Tasmanian tiger. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what-
exactly.
Yeah.
Man, I grew up reading that,
No.
and I don't know if it's history books or science books.
Well,
but-
my question is too though. They bring stuff like like the woolly mammoth back. Like, you got no idea what it eats. Like, you obviously just can't ship it to Antarctica and be like, all right, have fun. Like, they obviously are gonna be eating grass and stuff. So
It
they'd have to
would-
be in a
yeah.
climate where
permafrost.
It would be in Canada.
yeah, or like
Says
Alaska,
there, man.
or like Alaska.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah,
Alaska
just
or
it would have to
something?
be in those areas. Yeah.
something cold.
I guarantee you
Give
though,
the polar
what'll
bear
happen
something.
is they'll do this. They'll probably make like 3, and it'll be in the zoo, and they'll just be zoo pieces. They won't be like
Yeah.
roam the earth.
Yeah.
man.
because
Because they're huge, dude. Like
they're huge, dude. Massive.
A regular like elephant gets 12,000 pounds. These things are like I think 3 times bigger than a regular elephant.
Yeah, they're humongous. Their tusk. I mean, there's this guy who does tables, you know, and we had to change our table out. But anyway, this guy makes tables and does the epoxy and really, I mean, like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, even $80,000 tables. And he tried to use the same thing. A guy gave him, or he bought a woolly mammoth tusk, like half of one. And he found a way to stabilize it where it was kind of hidden and epoxy it. Anyway, dude, that tusk, if I just had to assume, like, I think an elephant's tusk maybe like that large just from my memory, dude. This thing's like that big around the diameter. It's nuts, bro.
Well, like, you got to think, dude, like, elephants pull, like, trees out of the ground with their trunks, like, you know, strong
actual trees, not
I'm talking like trees,
things.
dude. Like, it's like silverback gorillas, dude, pull bamboo out of the ground with their hands.
Insane.
Yes, it is
insane.
Crazy strong you have to be to do that.
You're dude. You're
like,
pulling.
So look at their arms, though, dude. They're like
years ago. My dad told me when he went to the Bronx Zoo, they had this silverback gorilla there.
The Bronx.
It had like a 18-inch tire that was his toy, and it would take the tire and just like fold it inside out, dude.
Yes,
it busted all the bands in the tire, and it was like,
dude,
just that sheer amount of just forearm strength to do that, dude. And people like want to like go in the jungle with those things. You're crazy.
You saw that guy in the jungle? He just grabs him.
Yeah, yanks him real quick,
pulls him, and lets him know what's up. And the guy's like,
that's like that one same of the video guides. Where she's like. Got the camera.
Oh, was it her? That's the same video?
And well, it's the same place. And
yeah.
She's like this, and the guy's like, she's like, hi, and he's like, okay.
Okay. That's his face. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. I never connected that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was him getting pulled, dude.
Yeah,
that was insane.
Like animals are no joke, man. Especially wolves and stuff, dude. Like, let's let these dire wolves loose, man. Like,
dude, yeah, but what are they gonna eat? Elk. They'll have to eat elk. I mean, what else could you eat that is big enough? Buffalo. I don't think there's. I don't know.
They're going to be small game, just like wolves. I mean, they're going to eat anything small.
How much bigger? Because I don't know too much about it other than what I see in Game of Thrones. Like, how much bigger are they?
They're not going to be like that. That's just exaggerating.
Yeah, that thing was huge.
It's going to be bigger than gray wolves. Bigger than gray wolves. They're already on a
like 2 times bigger.
Wolves are huge, dude.
No, they're huge. Yeah, they're huge. They're going to be bigger than that. Their muscle structure's stronger. Jaws are stronger.
Yeah. Well, you got to think, dude. Back then, like, how much genetically superior you needed to be to survive. Yeah. Like every day was like a fight for your life. Every single day.
We just don't know.
That's what we were talking about.
The habits of this.
Well, that's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah, like you have no clue, like what these things are gonna do, what they.
No
temperament, nothing.
Yeah, that's what they're doing now. They're trying to get males, females, a pack, and then study them throughout their life. Yeah. So I think when they're 1.5 years or 2 years, they're full adult.
Okay.
Around that time, they're full adults, and they can see how they act. You know, because right now 6 months, and they're already trying to
go in there and feed these guys. We're gonna see how they react.
I think if Steve Irwin died from one of those, it'd been a lot better than a stingray.
Yeah, dude, that was
the stingray. I told my son that, and when we were swimming in the Dominican, he's like, he's seen the stingray. He's like, I don't want to go near it, and I'm like, dude, they unbarbed it. You can see and it's actually looked pretty fresh. I was like, they probably just yanked that. You can see it's interesting.
I didn't know that they did that. Unbarbed them.
They will when you have like a enclosure that you go swim in, and they're gonna be taking photos with them. Yeah.
Such an odd thing though to like want to swim with.
Yeah, it is.
Like it's not just dolphins or big mouth bass.
Dude, I would love to swim with some dolphins. I've had them around me and stuff, but never like
when we were going from Orlando to the Bahamas, you can see them in front of the boat.
That's cool.
Yeah, like when you come into the Bahamas.
Yeah. We saw that on one of our cruise ships, but it wasn't like it was. Such a big ship. It's hard to kind of
see down and over. Plus, you're like sketched out to lean over the railing.
Yeah,
it's sucked in.
I think we dropped someone on that trip, but anyway, I'm not kidding. Like I really think so.
I do think with this extinction stuff, we're talking about the morals of it, if it's good, if it's bad, or whatnot.
Yeah.
But they're trying to bring back animals now that's been extinct for maybe 100 years only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, didn't the Tasmanian tiger. He was he's only been gone enough where they had photos of him. Whenever that started happening.
In the
200?
1910 to 1920.
Yeah, I think most of these animals got hunted out of extinction.
Yes.
Like hunted into extinction.
Yep.
So that was a big thing with the bison. The bison almost got hunted into
Absolutely.
extinction.
They almost all of them actually.
Yep.
And that was the most free roaming large animal that we had. It was across all of America, and now it's isolated.
Like the dodo bird, like this weird looking dumb bird, extinct in 1600s.
Yeah.
So it's like they can. I think, when you start going back to dire wolves and woolly mammoths, that's different. Yeah. But if they can start bringing back like anything that's went extinct, fish,
I think that's
birds,
pretty cool though, actually.
Oh, it is really cool.
Well, that's what really a lot of scientists are doing. When marine and just regular biology scientists, they're not just tracking these animals. Any animal that they come in contact with, especially species that are concerning as far as their levels, they're taking their DNA. They're getting samples of their tissue and of their blood and storing it. Yeah. It's in a big cryo-freeze area. Oh, yeah. So
it's just like the same
many. There are many.
Yeah, Walt Disney's in one of those too.
It is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So we'll bring him back next and with the saber tooth.
What if we bring back people? If they're at this level...
I'm glad you asked that.
That'd be crazy, right?
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, you can bring back people, but you can't bring back the soul.
We need Caesar back.
That's what I was going to say is I think this is my belief. I don't know. I have nothing to back it up, I don't think. But I think once you start playing God, as we were joking about, I think he's not going to allow that. I really do. I think it'll get to that point where you're like creating humans.
You'd have to stop aging, dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if you didn't, you would that cryo-freeze thing that we talk about for like even it's in almost every space movie where you're going from A to B and you slow down things.
What's that movie with
maybe
the dude from Guardians of the Galaxy where he's on the ship going to the other planet, he wakes up from his pod too early.
Oh, Chris Pratt?
Yeah,
Chris Pratt, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's
with that other
that
female actress,
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes, Jennifer Lawrence. Yes, that's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, well,
which one is it?
I forgot the name of it, but it's an okay movie.
It's so anyways,
they do wake up. I know exactly what you're talking about. And she's like doing the throw up sick cryo freeze thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Passengers.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, they wind up like living their entire life through this thing, and they die. And then the other people finally get there, and I'm like, that's sad.
Yeah.
It's crazy though, and I don't know if that part might, bringing people back. I don't think so, man.
I don't know if there's like an actual scientific way to put people to sleep like that.
There's none.
The only thing that I understand that they found is when you sedate people for surgery and things like that. You can get the heart. My understanding is the heart has like a certain amount of beats in it per individual, per whatever. And that when you slow the beats down, people who learn how to rescue breathe or to like calm breathe or free dive, they slow their heart rate down where blood's not being pumped as much. Or
just like alligators do when they slow their heart rate down to like 2 beats a minute.
I don't know if that matters if you've like, well, he lived to 43, but he had, heart failure, unfortunately. But his heart would have gave out at 37 instead, but he worked on his breathing. I don't know, man. That's beyond my understanding.
Well, it's like, all right, so freezing Han Solo in carbonite, man. How the hell does that work? How is he preserved?
In freaking metal, basically.
If we can do that, that'd be...
And then he unwarms or gets warmed up.
Hibernation sickness.
That was crazy.
Or that Family Guy where she's like, who is this? And she's like, somebody who loves you. He's like, whoa, you're crowding me and I need my space.
That's hilarious.
Hey, even though we know where he's going, let's wait 5 years to rescue him.
Mm-hmm. Let's wait.
Those are funny moments. It just, I don't know, man. What's your thoughts on it? Like, how far could this go?
Oh, I think they're going to go crazy with it.
As far as they can?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I
they're
think so,
go
too.
As far as they can.
Buck wild.
Do you think we could do you think, because what could be other than a lizard? I don't know enough about dinosaurs, but if everyone's going to want to make Brachiosaurus or Brontosaurus or something. What did they say
they did the Velociraptor with? They mutated it with... it was a bird, dude.
I thought it was an ostrich. No?
Yes.
No,
I think so. No,
because it had the special horn, like a call.
Yeah, so it's
No?
like the mammoth needs a Asian elephant. That's the only thing. That
Don't
work.
be like that.
I'm serious. That's the only way to make a mammoth is an Asian elephant.
They have to be Asian.
They do have to, but it's like they said, the T-Rex is.
I bet they taste good.
Oh, I bet it tastes amazing,
dude. I bet it tastes so
like
good.
Dino
and
nuggets
Asian.
will be real,
dude. They'd be really.
Oh
real.
my
Dino
gosh,
leg.
dude!
Oh.
I'm serious. That would
Fred
probably taste
Flintstone with
great.
a big old bone, just whacking people.
He had a woolly mammoth too, didn't he?
He did.
And he had an actual dinosaur.
I think the hardest with dinosaurs is trying to really find its counterpart, because they, to actually give that, because they say the chicken is a descendant of the T-Rex, because actually their genetic code matches.
What's that one bird that can eviscerate? It's kind of looks as big as an ostrich. It's a little smaller. It has a crazy sound to it, like I don't know. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah, there's some big birds out there.
It's multicolor. It's like this crazy pink and blue. Not a bird of paradise. They're small.
Birds of
That's
paradise.
what I think that they got the DNA from for the.
I'll have to go back and find it, dude. But yeah, they definitely used something of modern time to
the condor.
Maybe, I don't know.
Turkey.
They might have
giant turkey. Yeah, maybe.
I'm about to show you.
Looks like that.
No, we're gonna find this
big
one.
ass in the Jurassic World. That in the fish tank.
Cassowary.
Oh, that big.
Cassowaries. They make this crazy noise. I don't know how hard it's gonna be to dub music over it. Or you've seen this, Anthony, 100%.
100%.
This thing.
Can you just dub
that? They eviscerate.
Yes, I've seen
their
those.
Anything that they feel is a threat.
Yes, I've seen those big things.
And
those
they're like,
crazy.
And dude, it's this loud. Sounds like a freaking V8 just sitting there camming. I'm serious.
It's camming out. Dude.
And it has this horn, like resonating horn beak deal that helps it. I'll put it up there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I think it's going to be something that I hope if they do this, I really hope they don't put them out in the wild, because we don't know what they would do to other wildlife.
Yeah.
Because these guys are, like you said, they might just eviscerate anything else.
What if they would like procreate with local
wildlife?
Like with other wolves, and then we won't have another pure wolf, because that's a more dominant. Yeah, survival of the fittest type.
That's a weird one.
Deal.
I think it would be dangerous because they've never been in that ecosystem.
Never.
Okay, so
and it might spread like
says
crazy.
in at least Jurassic World, I think this is Delta, Echo, Charlie, and Blue. Each raptor had the DNA of other animals in their genes, with Blue having black-throated monitor lizard, Charlie having green iguana, Delta having DNA of birds. So they're gonna, I mean, they would probably, I mean, that makes sense.
Oh, so I didn't realize that in that, and I know this is about a movie, but I mean, it could correlate that they were using. It wasn't just they were making velociraptors; they were making.
They made
it with different. They were making it with different things. Yeah.
Well, they took the
Dominus
DNA
Rex.
of a raptor, and then they mixed it with a
With
T-Rex,
and the Dominus Rex.
and then what's that other thing? The Spinosaurus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they just
dude.
mixed. Yes.
That was probably my least favorite one,
Or
just because of that
yeah.
lady in Jurassic Park 3, where all she
Oh,
does is
really?
scream the whole time. No, it's
Really?
one of my favorites, but she
Oh, yeah,
makes
the
me
wife.
hate it.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
wife
she
of
just screams the whole time.
Yes, I know that person. Yes.
It's like that movie Real Steel.
The
with boxing
lady,
robots. I
the
love that
lady who
movie,
was
except for that
there
little kid.
in the first one. Well, she may have been in the second one too, but I thought she was really good in it.
Yeah, she was. Yeah,
Like the way that they look up at the Brachiosaurus, I was like, "Whoa, dude, it's real."
So cool.
that is one big pile of.
Big one.
That's one big pile of dude.
Jeff Goldblum, dude, was
Yeah,
a
dude.
staple in those movies.
Some of the stuff he said is so funny.
Oh yeah,
Dude, it's
Chaos
forever.
Theory.
It's iconic. It's Jeff.
So,
but-
yeah, I don't know how far they'll. I mean, obviously, you guys are saying they'll go as far as they can. Do you think there'll be some sort of? I don't want to say a animal rights activist group, but like a government agency that's going to step in and say, "Hey, look, you guys can't do this."
I don't know if
Velociraptors.
I don't know if they would be able to. I don't know.
Like they wouldn't have.
Yeah, they won't be able
They'd have to make a law, and it would, you know what I mean? Like, it would be this whole thing.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
true.
I mean,
And even if it wasn't, I feel like it'd be a hard stretch. You want to, most of the time, if you're a politician, you're not going to want to piss off, 80% of the populace.
yeah.
No, they're not going to do nothing with this. They're going to say, go with it,
Yeah. Until they do something like they let a T-Rex loose in San Francisco.
Yeah, but right now, it's contained. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It's going to the San Diego Zoo for some reason.
put
Yeah.
put Pelosi out there. And
Yeah.
just
But
see which one does more, havoc. Like
Scare it back into his cage.
Oh my gosh, dude.
But no, I think.
It's time for this president to step up and do the right thing.
Oh my goodness.
That's hilarious.
But no, it's I think. What do you think? Anything else to add to this, or
I think
is that pretty much it for that?
We'll try to put some pictures up of obviously what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to do the video thing. I'll try to do that
Yeah.
where I can have the casserole making that crazy noise. But
That would be crazy.
yeah,
Casserole.
Casserole.
when I have that
noise.
casserole making that crazy,
When it makes that bubbly.
Yeah, dude.
Oh man,
I love a
all
good
over the
casserole.
oven.
dude, they're amazing. We should
Dude,
make
what type though?
Any type of
Like,
casserole, dude.
Something that's not chicken, because that's the only thing that comes to mind for me.
macaroni casserole.
So my mom makes a
Like
really,
with
really
bacon?
good
Oh my gosh.
cauliflower casserole.
Oh,
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
basically,
like broccoli
loaded
with
mashed
that.
potatoes with
Yeah.
cauliflower instead.
oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Let's
my
do it.
Gosh, I'm
So
so
right
hungry.
now, all of it. Right now.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right,
It's
guys.
only
Like
3 hours to
All
prep it.
Yeah.
only 3 hours to like this. If you got to the end of this, I'm sure you did. So
Yeah.
comment, subscribe. What do you think? How far are we going to go with this? What are some animals you want to see brought back?
Yeah, dude. There's
That would be a
Anything
good
at this
name for
point.
this. Brought back.
We can also maybe we can start
De-extincting.
resurrecting like
De-extinction.
like resurrecting like square bodied pickup trucks too.
That'd be awesome, dude. Let's bring
Square
it back.
bodies matter.
There was a concept that Chevrolet came out with
I
for,
saw it. It's very
for
cool.
a modern square body, and I was like,
Yep.
that doesn't look bad.
It
It's
doesn't.
funny where if you see what's happening right now, and we joked about it, like enough people had enough money and they had enough intelligence to do this now, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was based off of that movie.
Yeah.
I do think that what we saw growing up, you're gonna start seeing that come back in
Yeah.
reality with technology.
Oh,
I do think
100%.
so.
What do you
Yeah.
think tickets would cost to that?
Oh man, I don't know. I would pay it probably.
I would pay 100%. I would.
Disney for two people, I know this for a fact, is about $4,000 for 7 days.
Oh gosh.
So
Stop having kids.
go to a
Oh.
like remote island, to see dinosaurs.
Dude.
And helicopter.
$1,000 a day.
We're going to Hawaii, man.
Easy $1,000
Hawaii
a
is
day.
really expensive too. I've never been
yeah,
there.
It's
but
one of the most
yeah.
expensive states.
crazy expensive.
It is.
It's beautiful. All right.
All right,
Later.
guys. Like, subscribe. Till next
Thank
time.
you. We'll see you.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Yeah.